Yo, people, thought I'd just make a quick video on women's boxing and what they should do next, in my opinion, to promote it better. But firstly, let me just say that Shannon Courtney and Ebanie Bridges, what an absolute war, man. What an absolute brilliant fight. Probably the best women's fight of all time, or it is right up there. The only one I can think of is when Kaylee Taylor had the fight in America. And they gifted her the decision. That's the only other one I can think of that even comes close. But what I would do next for women's boxing, I've been quite strong in this opinion that they don't promote it as well as they should. When you look at the UFC and you see the woman headlining it and how Ronda Rousey was probably the second biggest star next to Conor McGregor, there was probably a moment where she was the biggest star in UFC. So that shows you how well the UFC promote their women fighters. With boxing, like the Katie Taylor, the fight I was just talking about, the Katie Taylor one with I think, was it Chris Hammer or whatever her name was? I can't always forget her name. Like they when that fight happened, they should have really pushed for that rematch, man, and let that rematch headline a show. Like that was just such an incredible fight when it happened, and like they just kind of let it fizzle out, and then it was lockdown, and they just put the rematch on behind closed doors, and it just wasn't the way I would have done it anyway. So like now, what I think they should do in the couple fights that we've got lined up for women boxing that are really appealing, they should get the Shannon Courtney and Rachel Ball fight. They should get that, and they should have a contract signed where the winner is going to fight Ebanie Bridges next, and they should put Ebony on the undercard of the fight, get her to fight someone that they know that she's gonna kind of like walk past, or make somewhat of an interesting fight, but fight that Ebony should be winning. And then obviously when Shannon and Rachel, whoever comes victorious out of that, have a little head-to-head at the end, and then make the either Shannon Courtney 2 or Shannon Courtney Ebanie Bridges 2, or Rachel Ball Ebanie Bridges, and maybe let that show headline a venue, even if it's somewhere small like York Court or something, still like 1,500 people, 2,000 people in the arena. Just start letting women's boxing headline some shows, man. Then they can get Sarah Marshall and Carissa Shields. That's probably the biggest fight maybe in women's boxing to be made. And I know that there's a lot of people saying that, like, oh, Carissa Shields is going to outprice herself and this and that. Well, man, give her the fucking money, man. As she said, like, she would fight her for like $500,000, I think it was, and then it was if they wanted to come over to England, it was 750,000 or something. Bro, give her the fucking money. It's not that much, man. Like, I mean, it is a lot, but it's not, if you know what I'm saying. Like, male fighters make that fucking easily, man. Just give her the fucking money. Like, start pushing it into women's boxing. Start promoting women's boxing properly. We've been shown now over the last couple of years that women's boxing can produce some absolutely incredible fights. So, give her the fucking money, man. She's probably the greatest woman of all time. Like, she definitely at least second. Like, so give her the fucking money, bro. Just give her the money. Put the fight on. Make it happen. Start pushing women's boxing big. That could headline loads of shows as well, man. I mean, venues as well, man. So just give her the fucking money, man. Give her the money. And then after Katie Taylor beats Natasha Jonas, they need to make Shannon Courtney versus Katie Taylor, and they're probably the three biggest fights now to be made in women's boxing. So start making these fights, and imagine if we could get all three of them fights made at the same time and put them all on the same show, and just have a big fucking women's boxing show or something. All these things could be done, man. Really start pushing it now. Put it out there. I really want to see women's boxing like fucking go up, man, and start headlining shows and start selling out arenas like the O2 and all this stuff, man. And this is it now. After that fight, this is where they should start pushing it. They let the opportunity go with the Katie Taylor fight last time, so let's do it this time, man. Let's get it out there.